Match point here. And Gen.G trying to find the equalizer to turn it into the game 3. So far, NAVI PH has been playing real good, but this draft has been interesting. When you thought they were not going to give a good ultimate to Valentina, right at the very end, they get the Throne of Ruin.
Okay, that took quite a U-turn here for the draft for NAVI. But for Gen.G, that is quite fortunate, right? You finally get something that is very useful in terms of flashes here for Sayori. And speaking of the comforts as well, sticking to what you know best, even with your eyes closed. Let's see if that will reflect heavily as well here for the playstyle for Gen.G.
I want to see how this is going to play out, especially after level 4. I feel like there's going to be a kind of nothing burgers in the laning phase, especially both sides. And I mean, look at even Ayanami as well as Arya having, you know, a wet noodle fight here over a Lethal Wanderer as they lose EXP on the top side. One minion already gone here for the Alice.
Yep. It's all about who's going to find the perfect first blood here. And as you mentioned, we're not gonna be seeing a lot of team fights yet, or even 1v1s here for not Ayanami and Arya. It's all about roaming around and giving vision and assistance if whenever needed here for NAVI and Gen.G.
It's about controlling the wave, but most importantly, it's about maintaining the tempo. Both compositions kind of want to play the fights really, really slow. They're looking for the high-impact engages. And early rapid boots here from Mariah as we see the gank on top. Okay,
that's going to be somewhat of a vision, but not really enough to get the first blood. We might see that on the body of Panda, but great assistance there for Ashley. Now, in a few seconds, it's going to be the turtle up in the mix, and it's Mirai finding her way already here to try and predict things on where members of Gen.G will be focusing their lots for.
They did lose a little bit of tempo off of this. Mirai had to reposition as they're looking for the right targets. And in this case, it's going to be Rui. Mirai did this the last time, right? Made Rui's life really, really difficult. But now that Rain is level 4, look at the positions.
Okay, it's Arya onto the backside. That took too much. And it gave Keishi the perfect first blood. Rain with a Force Crimson Beacon. And assistance with a not Ayanami, resulting onto a kill. That's 2 members down. XP and Roam immediate takedown for Gen.G.
The chain CC was just a little too good. Arya couldn't even get her ult off in time. And now you see Rain down on the bottom side, getting hit by the gank.
Okay, Rui, go for the follow-up. Rian dashes out right in time. Now it's 4 members chasing them down. It's Rui being cornered out. But a commitment here for NAVI, and even with a slam down spread and a grab, it all interconnects and results onto a kill for NAVI.
They weren't able to find the trade. This is great for Mirai. Again, the battle spell difference creating this tempo, and now the dive.
Okay, they're forcing out a way to shut down Panda 1 as fast as they can. It's Mirai, even tanking up most of the turret damages.
Oh boy, the shield from downtown right at max distance as well, and Sayori finally gets the Throne of Ruin as Arya looks to maintain control over that top side, but there's an interception about to happen. Keishi could punish this, and that concentration isn't going to be enough. Look, the anti-heal, Arya cannot tank the damage.
Oh my gosh. This is kind of heartbreaking, especially for Arya. To be punished like this onto the early parts of the game. Could you imagine that?
She still survived though. She played it as well as she possibly could. Waited till the very last second, waited for Ayanami to try and commit to the Throne of Ruin before committing to her mobility skill, knowing that at any point Keishi could try to go for another shield unity. Either way is played perfectly well despite the scenario.
It's all about surviving first. Then we see a plan formulating for Gen.G. And as you've mentioned, it's all about the mechanics too on what Arya could maximize with a hero such as Uranus. This is quite different with what we're used to seeing for her. But let's see, for now for NAVI PH, also taking their time before the turtle responds, and Arya just goes in with a cut, same as not Ayanami. Now, they slowly make their way downwards towards where the turtle will be respawning.
Look at this. The rest of Gen.G now looking to kind of set this up, but Rui has been completely zoned off as Mirai. Nobody can really stop Mirai from zoning him out.
Okay.
And once he gets his ult on him, even worse. And now I think that Gen.G just has to back away.
Okay, there's going to be another turn of ruin here for not NAVI. Two members caught in the crossfire. Ashley falling down. Immediate response onto Arya. She will go down. Double kill for not NAVI and a turtle for Navi.
This is starting to look a little unwinnable here. Mirai gets to do literally anything she wants. Walk in, pull out a target, still not die, tank the damage, and still be relevant. She's everywhere all at once. She's super glue at this point.
She is a great provider as well. Like if Navi PH points to anyone, Mirai could get that. Mirai will give that to them. And even onto their own purple buff for Gen.G, they're not even able to even get that.
They're gonna have to pray here a little bit. The Navi makes the mistake, and unfortunately, it's just too tough. Rui even has to commit the retribution as well. They're unable to peel it off. I think that at this point, Ruyin as well as Sayori need to kind of work together to give that opportunity to kind of set the pace, right? Make sure that Mirai is CC'd enough so that Rui can actually get in on these fights to get the damage down. But still, it's such a big floodgate to get over.
Okay, it's all about changing or spicing things up here for Gen.G. Because remember, it's still the early game-ish here for both Navi and Gen.G. Although technically speaking, there is a lot of advantages. 6 minutes in, turret destroyed, multiple objectives secured, plus the jungle camp being invaded is just too much for Gen.G to handle. Although there's still a sliver of HP, as you mentioned, in the body of Sayori and Rui going hand in hand. But that is if they're not continuously being hunted down by Mirai or even not NAVI.
Yeah, they're gonna get dived under this tier 1.
Whatever happens will happen. And it's Ashley moving forward. Not NAVI again! With a perfect flicker, Sword of Ruin, and Mirai from the back. Just soaking up loads of damage that Gen.G is trying to show over here onto Navi. Padawan was able to let her Zaman Force build in, but not enough to equate onto a kill. It's still Navi getting a great team fight center here against Gen.G.
The mechanics are starting to deteriorate. Sayori, unfortunately, just didn't flicker forward. Used the Throne of Ruins. I guess they gave up on the fight before they made the call, and now the Zaman Force out onto not NAVI.
Okay, she will technically still survive, but no, it's going to be a chase down here for Sayori. A quick start here, and trying to regroup things up, freshen things up here for Gen.G. A start is still a start, but now that they finally get a purple bomb, it is the turtle that's going to be traded for here for Navi and Arya. Arya wants to buy some enough time, but no. It's Navi just securing the objective clean and square.
Yeah, they just have to scale Panda up. Everybody else has lost their relevance in this game. They are giving their bodies up, and luckily, I think that unless they find a huge shutdown, and even then, it's on right now, the majority of the lead is actually onto Kenshi and Mirai. Yes, Mirai will give you just a little bit of oh wait, actually Mirai is overscaling here, making a little too much money, in a matter of fact. Now the lowest gold overall is going to be Rain, so no more passive gold for Mirai.
No, because Mirai actually noticed, hey, I could be anywhere and everywhere. That's actually 100% KP for her, a 205. Like imagine that. She's doing the right marks on the right targets as well. Compromising so much of Rui's jungle. Like onto the level comparisons here, Rui is also being kind of lacked down here against Keishi. And now we see a more proactive play with the Conceal even under the turret. They're going a bit too greedy here for Navi, but Rain as well, communicating even a Crimson Beacon just to try and make things harder here for Rui with the dash blade surge. There's going to be another dash out, trying to survive. Not NAVI, the rest of the gang will just focus their marks here onto Sayori and Ashley. They'll take whatever they can, and they will get it onto the hands of Sayori.
Oh, they can't cleanly walk away. They can't really open up the map, especially with this glue. They've lost pretty much every potential out here. This is just a slow and painful death from this point onwards. Mirai can use the ult again if she wanted to, but really there's no need to. The discipline coming out from Navi PH right now is looking great.
earlier on the draft, we were kind of concerned that they didn't ban out the Harry. They kind of took a U-turn onto picking up the Alice as well. Now we do understand, even though Sayori has a wonderful ulti that she could copy, but she has to technically go in the front lines, find not Ayanami on this sort of a mess, and then commit to go for a setup. But that's not happening at all, because the moment that they're being shown on the map, that's an immediate kill here for Navi and an immediate takedown of an objective as well.
They're going to take their time with this now. The next fight is about to begin as Mirai has already initiated.
Now Ayanami with a catch here on 3 members. Panda one with the Salmon Force, but it's backwards all over again here for Gen.G. And it's Ashley right now trying to find a way to escape, and she will. Mirai might be the sacrifice, and Ree finally gets a kill onto her hands. Now that was a quite bit of a messy impact here for Navi PH, and Gen.G got 1 out of the 5.
At least they were able to get 1, and honestly, that's a pretty big win for Gen.G at the very least. At this stage of the game, 10 minutes and we still have some holy shieldings to work with. So at least for Gen.G, if they can just minimize the damage and protect this long lane, they might have a chance.
Okay, it's all about Arya right now. Doing a lot of the heavy lifting here against Navi PH. The Holy Shield just might pop off. It's going to be a risk here for Gen.G. And right on cue, they were able to melt down the Lord, but a costly advantage here for Navi PH.
Oh, no, it's not over just yet. There's still the second wave of Lord and Power minions, and you can see Mirai on Patrick's skin showing off why she is not just glue, but super glue here as they conceal and force the play underneath their turrets.
Okay, that is quite scary for Patrick going in with the conceal play as well. They just wanted to scare off some of the members, then finally get a base turret out of Gen.G. Now Sayori is forced to somehow copy the Crimson Beacon for extra survivability if ever Navi decides to jump in onto the clash.
And honestly, I think that Gen.G could have taken advantage of the fact that they were going for the conceal, right? Because they should be aware that the battle spells of both Mirai as well as Ayanami were still on cooldown. So there was technically no way for them to catch them off guard.
Yeah.
Everything would have been telegraphed from the Throne of Ruins, or just Glue being, concealed and walking up to you. Now, with the Radiant Armor already purchased on top of everything that they have, right? The Glowing Wand, Cursed Helm. Panda has got to be careful. Without that Salmon Force to maintain those shields, naturally, without the Chrono Dash, she will burn.
And definitely that's the next target here for Navi PH. You mentioned about the timing of the battle spell, so someone has to keep track of that for Gen.G. That is quite the opening, actually. The small opening, but still, that is somewhat of a win if ever they be able to time those timings or the battle spells out of Navi PH. Now, they're slowly making their way. They're still conserving and denying as much as they can against Gen.G right before a Lord take onto the top lane.
I think they know they kind of got this in the bag at this point, right? Ideally, they would have finished the game a little bit earlier. They have a 7.1k, which is a phenomenal lead. And this next Lord should be the final nail in the coffin once it's right at the base. The question is, how does Gen.G, knowing that this might just be their last chance here, how are they going to win this fight? It's either they somehow steal the Lord or they annihilate Navi right now.
It's Arya falling down low here for Gen.G. Engaging from the back. It's going to be a nice setup here for Ashley, but not enough still. It's Navi PH chasing them all around the map. Panda 1 is not a position that you would want her to. And Mirai single-handedly zoning up 2 members in a row with a grab as well, taking a hold of Sayori. It's 2 members immediately down, which is kind of good, would be helpful in some way for Gen.G if they manage to survive. But for Navi PH, they just want to continue their dominance, targeting Arya in the process. And there's going to be a lot of Blessons, their stacks as well, enough to totally tore her down. Rui and Ashley are left to defend for their base, but I think this might be it as Navi PH goes in for the kill, goes in for the wipeout, and eventually taking the win against Gen.G.